Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Rob, and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist. Every week we take inspiration from a recent or upcoming release to spark a conversation about some of our favourite gaming moments. With Dissidia Final Fantasy NT hitting PS4 on the 30th of January and featuring some of our favourite FF characters ever, all smashing the hit points out of one another, we had to think about what other video game characters might work in a fighting game, and what their finishing moves might be. Holly, you go first, because I can't think of one right now.
So if I could take any character from another game and put them into a fighting game, I thought about this long and hard. Okay. I was originally, and you're like this, I was gonna go with Sion, or Sion from the Bouncer.
Don't look at me like I know that game.
It's a Square Enix game from PS2. Anyway, it didn't.
I know what it is.
I thought that was going to be a bit. Anyway, Monkey and Trip from Enslaved Odyssey to the West. No, she's on his back. So they're like one entity, one life bar, right. One character, but it's technically two. Okay. Right? Neither of you seem as impressed. You've not played this, have you, Dave? No. Right, okay, that's why you're unimpressed. And Rob's only got one mode, which is looking at me.
I like the idea of, all I've heard is that there's a woman on a monkey's back, which I like the sound of.
It's not a real monkey.
It's not a real monkey, Dave.
Oh,
Andy Serkis is...
As a monkey.
Right.
But they're a really, really cool tag team. The idea is a girl called Trip. It's set in post-apocalyptic future. She needs to get back to her village. So she takes a slave headband and puts it onto this guy called Monkey. Now, if she dies, that headband will explode and kill him. Oh. So as a really strong British guy, she's like, you've got to now help me.
Right.
And that is basically the whole game, as them, actually becoming friends and discovering the truth. But it's a wonderful game from Ninja Theory, which I'm already a big fan of. Uh-huh. It was their game after Heavenly Sword.
Yeah.
And it's, as a tag team, they would be so cool. Because not only Monkey has got super great strength, he fights with a pole arm, it's all really, really good fun. But then Trip is super technical, so she can do EMP blast, she has this little firefly thing as well. It would just be really cool. And they're a really cool bunch of characters.
You've already got a death animation, obviously, the headband could just explode.
Then that would be my special attack.
Oh, what?
Is that Monkey would fling Trip across, she'd jump on the back of the enemy, put the headband on the enemy, then jump back to Monkey and then just boom.
That's pretty good.
Right?
Yeah. But wouldn't she have to...
Well, she can still control it with her. She controls it with her wristband. She can still control it, but if she dies, it automatically explodes.
So when they've got the enemy into their... cone, I'm done state. Finish them.
Yeah.
The headband fatality.
I think it's really cool. They're a really cool duo anyway. That'd be cool to see in a thing. But she'd be on his back. I think that would make it look cooler.
Yeah.
And because they've also got the Nimbus, which is, I don't know if you've seen any artwork from Dragon Ball, but the floating cloud, the Nimbus, is part of that tail. Right. So Monkey can even summon the Nimbus to zip across the map as well, the flying cloud.
Ooh. Oh, Nimbus, like a cloud.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nimbus Stratus.
Yeah.
See?
You don't need to zip across too far in a fighting game. Unless you could have different bits though, you could fall.
But he could use it for he could jump in the air, then jump onto the cloud, and then jump down into a really powerful dragoon-like attack.
Enslaved theme level as well then.
And the artwork from Enslaved Odyssey is gorgeous. It's proper lush green post-apocalyptic with rust everywhere.
It's
across New York, actually.
You've
it's
actually
set.
done a really good one here.
Yeah, I have. I've got a feeling it's all...
It's going to put ours to shame.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Can't wait. Next.
Right, I'm going to start this by saying that I am terrible at all fighting games, and so my ideas could be equally terrible. But let's have a go. So, a character from a game who I think would be interesting, let's say, in a beat 'em up game, would be, I couldn't do a drum roll, so I've done this little silent drum roll, Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. I almost said BioShock 2, but that was wrong.
Oh!
Yeah, and first of all, I think she looks badass. I like the way that she's dressed in her blue dress. She's just a really cool character. I love BioShock Infinite, and she there might be spoilers for BioShock Infinite in what I'm going to say at some point, by the way. I don't know where my brain's going to go. But first of all, you're rescuing her, and she's sort of, supposed to be kind of a bit meek and mild, and then by the end of the game, she's, you know, that's completely flipped on its head. She's really powerful, and she's basically omniscient, and I think she's just really cool. And the reason I think this would work well in a fighting game is because she looks cool, and I think that is part of, you know, being beat 'em ups. But she's got really interesting powers that would be really fun. She would just be summoning stuff, just lots of portals. I was thinking, like, you know, she could do little portals instead of like punching and kicking. She could just do little portals, and maybe, you know, she could do a portal to a boxing match, and Mike Tyson's fist could come through. And she could do.
Her block could be creating a little portal where your fist goes, and then opening a portal behind your head.
Exactly.
Push themselves in the back of the head.
Exactly. That's blocks just behind her head. Counter is into their own face or something,
that's good.
which could work. Obviously, I mean, that's all I've got is portals. There's more stuff that she could do with time. She could look into, you know, using time as well. She can sort of time travel with her portals, I think. Or I don't know. Yeah, I think so. So that could be an interesting area. When it got to kind of like more finishing moves, it's more portals, but a big portal with the train. A train could come through and run someone over, or she could send someone to somewhere horrible. That would be good. The other thing I thought was that she could, if they're dazed, she could sit them down and explain the end of BioShock Infinite to them, and just kind of explode their heads, just like, yeah, exactly.
That's the finisher.
Yeah, it's just she takes them, you know, she takes them to all the lighthouses and shows them all the bookers and stuff, and explains it, and they just submit to having their minds blown. So that is my. I mean, it's got some flaws, sure, but if I just keep talking fast enough, you guys won't be able to pick any holes in it. Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite, yay!
Yeah, the character I would take from a non-fighting game and put them into a fighting game is...
Yeah, silent drum roll.
Drippy from Ni no Kuni.
Drippy?
Because, now,
Tiny.
I'm thinking, in Tekken 3 there was that character called Gon.
Yeah.
That tiny little annoying dinosaur with the boxing gloves. And it was one of those, I think even Harada-san, the creator of Tekken, has admitted that Gon was basically just trolling the players. Like, here's this irritating little character. And the annoying thing about him was you could master like Jin and Hwoarang and Lore, all their amazing moves.
Yeah.
Gon's too small to be hit by any of them.
Yeah.
Like, you've got these incredible moves, and the only way to hit Gon is to do the low kick. So you just go... So fights devolve into just... other players just trying to kick Gon down the floor. And I think Drippy would be exactly like that. He's this really small, short little fairy doing his really annoying moves, and he'd just be running around the place going tidy in his Welsh accent.
Oh, it's awful
actually.
And you know, Trip and Monkey would be trying to put the headband on him, but he's too small. He's got a human-sized head, so the headband wouldn't go on him.
It would go around his little fat tummy.
Yeah, but it would, you know, it would still be too big.
Yeah, but Elizabeth would banish him to another realm.
Yeah, but he's a magic fairy from another realm anyway.
He
can do the same thing.
I'll tell you my serious worry with Drippy is if I was fighting him in the real world, I'd stand on him and I'd pull his little lamp out of his nose. And I'm just saying that I'm worried that's what they would do. That would be horrible, wouldn't it? I'm just saying if I had to fight him.
I mean, well...
I hope it never happens. But I think we'd get along. I don't think we'd be fighting. But
Can he summon the little ones?
Yeah.
No.
So he could, his finishing move would be, I think, he would take you to the island of the fairies.
So to Mam.
To Mam.
Oh, you never summon Mam.
You can do the Welsh accent, Holly. But anyway, he'd summon Mam. I don't know if you got this far in the game, Dave.
I didn't get to Mam, no, not yet. I have heard
It's
about
literally
it.
the best bit in the game.
I have heard
There's
about
an entire island
She's
of Welsh
the
fairies.
matriarch,
Yeah,
the Welsh fairy matriarch.
Yeah.
And I think she's got a stomachache because she swallowed some horrible kind of jellyfish monster that you have to go inside and beat. But anyway, the finishing move for Drippy would be he just feeds you to his Mam.
Yeah.
So you can't kick him, you can't do any of your special finishing moves because he can get back from the portal lands, and the headband would be too big to fit on his head. And
I can see his little celebration when he wins as well. He does that little
just
somersault.
jumps up and down with the little sound effect. It's like,
Yeah.
his
Yep.
little sound effect with
That'd
his
be
little
good.
tinkling lamp on his nose,
Yeah.
and he'd be the most irritating Gon-like character in any fighting game.
And again, Nino Kuni, a fantastic world to set a battle.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That'd be
Yeah.
great,
Very
wouldn't it?
colourful.
Yeah, I feel better about my choice now.
See?
It's worked out quite well in the end.
Yeah.
Turns out you have given it some thought.
We
Yeah.
had to work quite
Most of the
hard, so
thought I
that's
gave it was during those 5
Yeah,
minutes that have
that's
just
what I
happened then.
good. Right.
Well done.
So, Dave,
Yeah.
I see you've already brought a BioShock character into this
That's
fight.
right. Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing my own,
No, you can't.
and I'm bringing a better one.
No, is it BioShock Infinite?
Ooh.
No, it's BioShock.
Okay.
OG, baby.
I've not played BioShock.
What?
Yep. I'm sorry. I've not played
Well,
BioShock.
that's derailed this
I
conversation
mean, we've talked about
completely.
this before. I've not played it. Who is it?
It's Jack,
Oh, no idea.
the guy you
Who's
play
Jack
as,
Robb? Oh,
the
Really?
character
really?
in BioShock.
Okay.
Base level, really handy with a wrench.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
I'm just going to put that down there to start with.
Right.
I mean, no one can touch him. He's got a wrench. Great.
What he manages to make a
I mean,
wrench.
I'm pretty sure I could touch him.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to add to
Well,
this,
Flippy can
Rob.
touch him.
Just calm down a second, all right?
How you
Because
gonna
that's just to deal with the basics, all right? In the tutorial, that's the first move you learn.
Right.
Wrench.
Wrench.
Smack.
That's just like
Yeah,
pressing.
actually is.
That's like square or triangle.
Next level up, really handy with loads of weapons. We're talking shotgun, Tommy gun,
Yeah.
rocket launcher. I mean, he's got these to hand.
Okay.
I mean, and you can switch the ammo type as well if you want. I mean, you can have like these like mines that you can fire at the rocket launcher. You can have armor-piercing rounds in the Tommy gun.
Right.
Really good stuff.
But
So
Drippy is small.
Wait for my ace in the hole.
bullets are smaller.
It's of course the plasmids.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I've got my plasmid belt on,
Right.
maybe like a shoulder strap. Plasmids.
Yeah.
I mean, I do realise I'm going to have to inject these every time I want to switch it up a bit,
Right.
which takes time and it's incredibly painful. But that's not me, is it? I'm not the guy, so that's okay.
So
I'm
that's
just,
when
I'm
we
just playing
attack
as him.
you. Okay. Yeah.
So the plasmids are basically how I'm going to win all the fights. So I've got the basic ones of fire. I'm going to set you on fire. Going to be bad for you. I'm
Yeah.
going to freeze you in place with ice.
Okay.
I'm
Good
going
for
to
drippy.
set
Yeah.
bees on you.
Ooh.
Not good.
That's the bad one, isn't it? The bees.
Bees.
And the other good ones I have are telekinesis.
Okay.
So Drippy, I'm picking you up and I'm just throwing you away.
That's true. He's got, yeah.
You're just gone.
And a
Drippy.
swarm of bees could
Damn!
Yeah?
Tidy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good, Dan. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I still think Elizabeth's going to win.
Maybe.
Sport-
I honestly, I thought you were going to go for the Big Daddy.
What would the finishing move be?
Well, maybe my finishing move is the Big Daddy. Maybe I've just got a Big Daddy suit that I can just get into.
Or-
My first thought about the finishing move was like hailstorm bees, where I throw bees, cover them in
freeze
ice.
them and then-
So not only do you get the sting of a hailstorm, but each individual hailstorm
Has a sting
rock
in it.
has a bee inside it that also stings you.
So the hail explodes and out comes a presumably dead bee that then just stings you as well.
First, yeah, sting intact.
Like I said last week, I'm really nice.
What about this, Dan, though? Thinking of last week,
Yeah.
surely you could say, would you kindly lie down? And then you pull out a golf club and you could putt their head into oblivion.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe my backup weapon is just a putter.
Yeah. I like more of a sort of a low-key finisher, you know, maybe you've
Okay.
got two.
Yeah.
Although that bee hail was pretty cool, to be fair. Right, I'm going to preface this. I always try and say that word and I always regret it.
Preface.
I'm going to preface this by saying that I am...
Preface,
it is
preface.
preface. Let's start again.
No time now, Dave. The video's over. Learn how to say preface right. Preface, preface, whatever. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment to tell us who you think would be awesome in a fighting game, and join us again next week for another Tuesday checklist.